All right, and Shayla and Kenzie. So Emily, just a little bit of background. Tell everybody who you are and where you live. And I know you live in a couple places, but just kind of give them a high level, how long you've been licensed, your securities, all that good stuff. All right.
Thank you, Andy, for having me on. My name is Emily Katz. I currently live in between Bradenton, Florida, and Wilmington, North Carolina. I've been bouncing back and forth doing the seminars. I've grown up in the Alliance and started part-time while I was going to NC State to get my business marketing degree. Graduated from NC State in 2 years with my bachelor's, and then moved down to Florida to start full-time with the Alliance. I've been doing it ever since. Been licensed total of 5 years and had my securities license since September of 2023, and just excited about all the opportunities.
And your promotion level, what are you
District
known
manager.
as? District manager. And okay, let's move on to Shayla. Same Shayla. How are you doing?
Doing great, Andy. How about yourself?
Good. And I do hear your audio a lot better. So I'm wondering if everybody was the same with you, Kenzie, as was Emily's kind of weak?
I could hear it pretty good.
Pretty good, but not
How
loud as
about
Shayla.
you?
Go ahead, Shayla.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Andy, for allowing me to have this opportunity. My name is Shayla Osuna. I am 19 years old, hired by Marvin and Rachel Osuna, live in Reno, Nevada. Got my license back in August, and thank God since then, I've been able to qualify for agency manager and my first qualified free trip. And also had two knee surgeries since then, since August. Um, so, pluses and minuses.
How is the surgery? That will remind me, it was meniscus. I know it's one of those
Yeah,
athlete injuries. Is that what it was?
yeah. So the meniscus, it's good. Today's actually a week post surgery. I had surgery last Friday again. Um, Good news is the meniscus was healed. Thank God, everything looked good. The thing that was bothering me is that there's these little anchors in there from the previous surgery that were out of place since the last surgery. So that's why I was in a lot of pain constantly with my legs swollen, was because those little anchor pieces were just out and about in there. So they were able to take that out, take a lot of scar tissue and fluid that was messing with me. So thank God it's coming along. Still painful, but it's expected.
The pieces that were found in there, is it an error from previous surgery or it just happened? It just came loose.
For what they say, it just came loose. Because the stitches, they're the stretchers, the anchors that were in there, they did their job in healing the meniscus. So the doctor says the meniscus looks perfect. Something just must have happened for one of them to come loose and to make those pieces just go around. Yeah.
Not work. Okay. Well, good.
Mhm.
I'm glad. So does that make for a quicker healing period since the
Yeah.
meniscus is already healed?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God I'm not in a huge brace like I was last time. Crutches, I should hopefully be off in a few days. And now just working hard in physical therapy to be better in Alaska. But the healing
You
time is, I'm sorry?
you qualified, or you hit agency manager. You hit it the second time and you're a qualified agency manager now?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I got my ring back in January in at NatCon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Kenzie,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm fired up.
All right. Well, tell everybody where you live and what's going on with you.
Okay, hey everyone. My name is Mackenzie Richardson. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm actually based out of Houston, Texas now. I'm 24 years old and I was hired by Mr. Andy Albright via Instagram. I sold cars for about 2.5 years and I really did good in that, but I just knew there was something more for me. So I did a lot of praying and, Andy happened to reach out to me and his team, and I've been licensed since December of 2022. I am part time, but in the next pretty much now I'm planning to be full-time. My next step is agency manager. So I'm super excited. I have a lot of fired up agents that are recently licensed. So I'm just excited and happy to be here.
I'm excited and happy to be here too. Um, I didn't think about it. We got two kids, like two managers' children with Emily and Shayla. And I'm like, I guess you like my girl. You like my kids, since I got you from Instagram.
Yes, sir.
And I remember the first time meeting you. And also, did you know we are coming to Houston, a big showdown coming to Houston? Do you have any clue about this or no?
I know there's one tomorrow with
Yep.
AIG. My niece is actually graduating from Louisiana State University. So I'm actually, after this call, I'm hopping on the road to go and celebrate that. So I'm pretty upset that I'm going to miss it, but I will be celebrating my niece.
Okay. So there is one tomorrow, and that is, I think, Andy Riddle, Olga Mathis. There's several other people. You go ahead and look at the upcoming meetings. But I want to tell you there is a upcoming meeting. So the 18th, they're going to be promoting it like crazy. The one that we've got coming up, and the one that we've got coming up, if you would mark your calendar, is June 5th, which is a Wednesday night, and 6th, which is a Thursday. We'll do a boot camp. So June 5th, opportunity meeting. We do not have a location yet other than Houston. And the crazy part about it is, what's going to make this kind of special is my inner circle of 12 are coming in on the 4th, and we're having a dinner in Houston, and we're doing a meeting on the 5th. So all those guys are going to be there. All right. Now, not every single one of them are going to make it there. But Terry Edwards will be there. Tia's coming. Angela Riddle will be there. Leventovich, Mike, and Noel will be there. It's just going to be a great crowd. Adam Katz, I think Adam and Beth are going to be there. So all these people are coming in 4th and 5th for an inner circle meeting, and then we'll be there on the 5th, which is Wednesday night, for an opportunity meeting in Houston. So you start working on that and try to get you some really good people out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I am tore up about my video not working, and I have no clue how to fix it. I've run out of options. So I was in Italy and talking to one of my buddies, and he was like, man, what just blows my mind? You told me this like 20 years ago, and I've retold this story hundreds, if not thousands of times. And I was like, what? And I didn't know what he was talking about at first. I talk about this all the time, but this element, I kind of forgot about. I'm hopefully Handy will still be able to pull it up, even though my camera is not showing. Handy, can you pull up the cursive drawing?
Yes, sir, I can. Give me 1 second.
This is the part that he said, do you remember we talked about cursive drawing? And I was like, what? And he was like, now, I don't, your age, you girls, I don't know if y'all have ever seen anything like this. Have y'all seen anything like this? Was this taught in school at all?
I went to private school, so I learned cursive before anything.
Okay. Emily?
They took it out of the curriculum halfway through 3rd grade, so I know half the alphabet. I can sign my name. I can write insurance applications real good.
How about you, Shayla?
Yeah, I got to learn it in 4th grade.
I don't know. I don't understand. I didn't do a research on why you train like this, but the little letters stay below the dotted line. And the capital letters take up the whole sign, but sometimes, like that H, it just kind of, and the T, they kind of ignore the rule. So if you could keep your life between the lines emotionally, it'll change your life. Can you go to the second slide, Handy? All right. So if this is you and you're trying to get to that star, the straight line is the closest fastest way to get there. So it's there's like there's so many funny things going on here. Like, first of all, the age difference. Y'all are so young, and I have been on Earth so much longer than you. And then the fact that you're female, girls, a whole different world background, whole different emotional categories. I've heard so many speakers talk about the difference, the way the female brain works, the male brain. Um, and then the education system changed. So it's like, my guess is that if you talk to kids or people younger than you, and you show them that cursive, they're going to be like, what was that for? And, why did you do that? And you're like, things always change. Well, y'all see how men wear ties, like red ties, blue ties, striped ties. What are ties for? Right? Decoration. For what, though? It's no practical use to it, but it keeps going on. So cursive, I signed my name in cursive. Can you sign your name in print? Because then it would not be signing, it would be printing. So, it's just nonstop contradictions in life. That made me think about it in Florida. In Florida, you can ride a motorcycle with no helmet and no seatbelt. But if you get in a SUV with all the padding and protection and safeguards, you must wear a seatbelt or they will give you a ticket. Like, why do we sell seatbelts? Because we care about your safety. Then why don't motorcycle people have to wear a seatbelt? It doesn't add up. Well, you could lose your mind over that. You could get hung up on that, and you could go protest. I got an idea. Let's do like those kids in those colleges, and let's get some signs and let's go protest. So if you're trying to get from where you are to where the star is, protesting is not on the line. Unless your goal in life is to uniform laws across the country in every single state for automobiles, then maybe doing a protest is taking a step in the right direction. Is this totally messing you up, or is this making a little bit of sense, Mackenzie?
I got it.
You got it?
Sure.
All right. So let's go to the third slide. Handy, let me see what that looks like. There you go. Okay. So this is one strategy. You stay in between the lines. Give me the fourth slide. Outside the red, up in near the 4 danger zone, that would be where you're so happy because you made agency manager or you made the cruise ship that you party so hard that you get drunk and fall overboard and the sharks eat you. See, that's too much partying. Okay. The dangers on the lower side is you go out your first day of selling, you've already done it, or you get this person that's awesome and they're so excited and they book 7 appointments. They go out in 7 appointments, they get no-showed, and they call and tell you that they prayed about the business and God told them by having 7 no-shows, 7 door slams, 7 cussed out, that God gave that as a sign to them that they should quit, and they're your best person and they quit on you. So what you do, you jump out of a 12-story building because you're so upset and you do it head first. That way you have no chance of survival. That's called depression outside the danger zone. So let's go back to danger zone. Let's go back to 3. Can we go back one, Handy? I'm going to put you to test. Okay. You see where we didn't kill ourselves for depression and we didn't party ourselves into oblivion and run naked through the streets and then somebody video it and put it on YouTube. Okay. So this went from cursive to engineering to female minds to male minds to old people to young people. So how about this? Kenzie, have you ever heard of it? She's an old soul or he's an old soul?
Yes, too much actually.
Well, tell people what's the positive meaning to that? Maybe there's a negative meaning too, but what's the positive meaning? She's an old soul.
The positive meaning is like, I guess you're different because you don't think like your generation would. You kind of are slow to speak, and it's just you do things different. It might even be your music taste. Like you listen to older music and things like that. So when people tell me I'm old soul, I actually take it positively because I grew up with older parents.
What do you think, Emily?
I think of it a lot like maturity level, just the way that you think. Is it, like Kenzie said, is it your generation? Are you thinking 10 years older than you? Are you looking into the future? Are you thinking about just right now? What's kind of what that thought process is?
So you think of an old soul as somebody that thinks more about the future. Um,
Yeah, is goal oriented, just has that long-term perspective, is thinking more about how is my what my decisions are right now going to impact my future, just thinking, like Kenzie said, outside of the generation.
all right, let me ask you this. If you owned life insurance at your age, does that make you more of an old soul?
I think some people would definitely say that, yes.
Because you're thinking you're going to die one day, right?
Yes.
And you're thinking you're going to have a family and kids and they'll need that money, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're thinking one day you might have cancer, you might have a disability, you can draw that money out, right?
Yes.
So I can't figure out how that's bad, but I can see where it makes you different by thinking. Shayla, tune in on the old soul. What things that make you think of old soul and have you ever heard that, Shayla?
Yeah, I've heard that a few times, and same words come to mind. Like your maturity level, where's your head at? Like, um, are you level-headed? Most of the time when someone says you're an old soul, means you don't act on impulse, means you don't um basically like a teenager. And I can say it because I am a teenager, but like teenagers are really impulsive. They really just act on feeling, don't really think first. And when someone says, you're an old soul, it means that you're thinking ahead of the game. You're thinking with the right mind, with the right intentions. Um, just mature about your decisions.
All right. So you three, my goal here is to help you have an easier life. Okay. So let's go to the fifth one. Go 4 5 and go to 5. Slide. Okay. Um, see how this one stays closer to the line and we don't give it up into the wasted emotion, not wasted emotion, not even danger emotion. Tracking?
Yeah.
Shayla, talk about this and how this some practical ways that you see how this applies or can apply to your life. Because you see where it gets really excited, and you see there's 2 depressions in there, and there's also another high.
Mhm. Yeah, so the way I see it towards my life is when I was, getting ready to graduate and had all these scholarships, all my dreams and my hard work were at my fingertips. And after one doctor's appointment, it slipped away in a second. So, I think for a little bit there, I went into the danger zone, the wasted emotion of, falling into those negative thoughts, falling into feeling like a failure. Um, but with the straight line of your goals and the alliance, that helped me, I think, not fall into that danger depression. Because if it weren't for shooting for that straight line, I would have gone up and down within the danger zone of, depression, wasted emotions. And then definitely I could have, after achieving agency manager and Alaska, when if you get too excited, like you said, you fall off the boat or, you just stop working. So that can definitely happen if you're not careful and if you let your emotions dictate, where you're going on your line.
That is very good and very accurate. Yeah, how about the knee surgery? Like, which one of those depression points? One of those depression points is got to say, I just had surgery. Now I got to do it again.
Yeah.
How low do you go?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no. To have all those years and of, training, basketball basically was, my life, my love. And to have that go away in a second, oh man, like I felt like I was a failure, like I was failing my family. So really through shooting towards that star, I think helped me not fall into the danger depression that I could have fallen into. And then this time around again, second surgery, like, man, I have to be on crutches again. It's going to be really hard to run appointments, go out and see families. But just got to stay, you know, old soul like, be a little level headed and just be okay with the process that you're in right now and just keep shooting for the line, even if physically I can't walk through the line, if that makes sense.
it makes perfect sense to me. Um, and here's what I would say: a lot of people, it makes sense to them. Here's what they don't want to do. So everybody does this. Here's what they say: that's exactly how I am. I don't get too excited and I don't get too depressed, and that's how I am. I know who they're talking about. They're talking about my upline because he cray cray. I know who they're talking about. It's my downline because she cray cray. So I can't hold up my book, The Circle of You, but nobody assumes that this problem is inside the circle of you, inside their own head.
Mhm.
So what I'm here to tell you three is you three need to stay more on the line. Okay. Now, I don't have a specific example because that'd be mean, but I can tell you things are going to happen in the future. You have to make your mind up. You don't have to do nothing, but you should make your mind up what your goals are. Like, I think I get controversy over this one. I think I do make people mad with this one, but I don't mean no harm with it. But I love these single mamas, and they say, and they get all emotional about it. Go, what's your dream? And go, I just want my children to have it better than me. That's my goal. It's my goal in life, and I'll do anything. And I'm thinking, the size of your goal will determine the size of the problem that stops you. So if you have a tiny goal, then a tiny problem will stop it. If you have a large goal, a tiny problem will stop it. So I've honestly, never thought of playing I played baseball, football, basketball. I played in high school. I'll do like everybody. I could have went to another college, but injury and also God led me in a different direction. Well, what God led me in a different direction is I didn't lift enough weights and I didn't exercise enough, and I went fishing too much and hunting too much and trying to play basketball when I should have stuck to baseball, I guess. I got a million excuses, but my dream in life was never to play in a Major League Baseball because how easy is it for that to be stopped? How easy is it? Don't get me wrong, playing in the NFL, what an incredible goal and a dream. But if that's your ultimate dream, if your ultimate dream is your children have it better than you, then all you got to do is get it better than you. You in other words, how did you grow up? I grew up poor. We didn't have running water. So let me get this straight. If your kid has running water, they have it better than you. Yeah, but my daddy was mean and I'm going to be nice to my kids. Okay, you're going to be nice to your kids. So you don't have to get in this business to have running water and be nice to your kids. This business is not going to help with that. You know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? I would like for them to have a new car. Really? A new car? You don't think buying a used car is a good idea? Nope. I want them to have a new car. Okay, great. Would you like to make payments or cash? I just want to have it. So payments. You get a job. Get just a normal job and you'll have money coming in. It'll be better life than you have. You women like, come on. So, I don't understand, Andy. If NFL is not a big enough dream, or NBA, or college basketball, or college baseball, what is a big enough dream? That's a good question. I have the answers. The problem is, whenever I tell you, people get mad. They have to kind of think of them themselves. And I do get frustrated when people go like, I go, what's holding you up making dials? Well, I'm really trying to study my why and get my why figured out. Oh my God. I want to just say, here's your why. Not live in the basement of your mom and dad's house. How's that for a why? I hate when they ask me questions when I come home. I hate that I can't throw a party and scream and have the music blasting. I mean, how about I want a Maybach? How about I want a jet? How about I want to travel? How about I want to win a trip? All those are small goals, but those goals are enough to get you on that line going from you to the star. You with me? Is this making sense, Shayla? I don't know if sometimes Spencer says you rambling about stuff nobody knows what you're talking about. I go, well, I know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about, Shayla?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
All right. Here's some stuff that'll mess you up. My mom was 88. She done had a heart attack, died about 12 years. I was getting ready to go to Hawaii. Oh, your mama had a heart attack. I said, oh God. We go over there and man, she's about dead. Like 95% of her heart's messed up and they got to have open heart surgery. It's about 12 years ago. Like she says, I'm with her. I don't know how I lived. I don't know how she did either. I remember talking to the doctor and I was like, look, don't screw this up. And my mom was like, don't say that to the doctor. I was like, hey, I hope he don't screw it up. He's like, I'll try my best, Mr. Albright. And he did it. He worked it out, got her heart back right. And now she's been alive and kicking 12 more years. She had cancer, breast cancer. She had all kinds of cancers. She's going to die one day. And I don't want her to die ever. But let me tell you how this works. She's going to die. I'm going to die. Your parents going to die. You with me? And by the way, how's your daddy doing, Kenzie?
He's doing amazing. He told me to tell you hello, by the way.
Good. You tell him the same. I'm going to call him.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you should tell him to come out the 5th and see you. And
Oh,
see
he moved back to Houston, so he lives about 25, 30 minutes from me, so he'll definitely be there.
What? Okay,
Yes.
you tell him. He better be there.
Yes, sir.
All right, my man gonna die one day. You with me? You see how she does that? Like it is a fact. But Andy, you don't understand. No, I don't understand. I do understand how some people lose their mind. I get it. But if you know it's going to happen, I thought about this one. The reason I like flying instead of driving cars, very seldom have I met somebody and they had an arm cut off and I said, what happened? They got wrecked in our plane. But cars, people get deformed, cut off stuff, face through the windshield, all kinds of things happen in cars. But you don't hear about that happening in jets all the time. But cars, you can Google it. Like how many people get maimed, injured, crippled in cars? It'd be like 10,000 a day. I'd be like, I'm trying not to do that. So I like to fly because it's so much safer. People say it's not safer because you'll die in a plane. Planes don't crash. That's the problem. Oh, yes, they do. I heard about one. Google how many wrecks a day happen. It's insanity to get in a car. And then people go like, so you scared to get in the car? No, I'm not scared to get in the car. I just like to avoid it. I'd rather have a helicopter. I'd rather have a helicopter take from me from here to my jet. But there's no place to land one around here. So irritating. So that would be on the wasted emotion if I go down in there and just get to harping on the fact that they ain't got a helicopter place around here. So I have to drive because I might kill myself. So parents are going to die. We're going to get cancer. We're going to lose a limb. We're going to lose our eyesight. Like right now, this eye right here, well, you can't see me pointing. One of my eyes, I get stigmatism. I've had the surgery and everything, but I still get the stigmatism thing. But you can't get hung up on about it. This is an old soul too, talking. So the one thing that's going to be hard to illustrate is in this picture going from you to the red star is called do. So what is the do? All right. So getting from you getting to the star, and the star is everything you hoped and dreamed for. Like one things I wanted is to have a family, grandkids. I mean, you want to talk about emotional. My wife got cancer, and this is 30. Let's see, if Haley's 29, it's been 33 years ago, 33, 34 years ago. Jane got cancer, and I had to get my hair cut or something. So she had went on to the hospital, and I was running around, and I was in this what was I driving? Some kind of a not a Mustang, because it was like a SUV, but it was a cheap one. And I ran into this car, and it flipped over. And the thing that irritated me the most is I had all this change in the back in the day. You used to keep change. I know y'all don't keep change no more either. But back in the day, I had an ashtray, and the ashtray was full of change. And all my change was all over the place. So I'm upside down going, Dad gum, my change done went everywhere out of the ashtray. And then I'm like, how am I gonna get a ride home? Because Jane's already headed to the cancer thing. Blah, blah, blah. And so I'm driving to the hospital, which is about 2.5 hours. And my sister-in-law, I call her and I say, hey, you had the same cancer 10 years before. And she says, yeah, I'm sorry about you not going to have kids. And I was like, what does having cancer have to do with not having kids? And I always wanted to have kids. And I was married. So I figured I'd have, kids with my wife. And now she's saying your wife will not be able to have kids. And I mean, I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, oh, but I wouldn't. I was like, well, whatever. Maybe we'll adopt them, or maybe they'll be wrong, or maybe we'll be the exception, maybe whatever. Well, I get there, and the doctor's telling us all about how are you going to win, beat this cancer battle. And I said, hey, what about kids? He said, what about them? I said, can you have kids? He said, yeah, because if she could have kids before, she'll have kids afterwards. And I was looking around. I asked my wife, I said, what's wrong with your sister? She said, I don't know. She told me you weren't going to have no kids. She said, oh. So I asked the doctor. He said, oh, yeah, 10 years ago, if you had chemotherapy and radiation and all that, no babies. But now we have honed in the chemo and the radiation. So now it doesn't affect having kids. So can you see that emotional roller coaster right there? Your wife's got cancer, you're in a wreck, you lose your change drawer. Sister-in-law tells you your wife can't have babies. Then the doctor tells you can't have babies. And I'm just doing my best the whole time, just all through this, just sit there thinking, well, we need to get her well, and my recruiting numbers need to get higher. Like, you see the black line? Her getting well was on the green dot. Me having kids was on the green dot. Me having a bunch of money to pay for traveling, for hunting and fishing and houses and cars. Right? So all these things are on the black line. So, like this is personal. Well, I'll decide whether I'm gonna go personal on it or not. Emily, talk to me about this wave game, and you see yourself doing it. Your daddy called me like, Emily's told all the pieces about this. Emily's excited about this. You know what I mean? Never, not on say never, but what I really want to hear is Emily made 500 phone calls last week and this week. Emily's got a appointment scheduled. She's got a seminar scheduled this month and next month. And her and Harry are having a date every Friday. Okay. Those are some good things that have to do with going on that black line, getting to the green star.
Well, I'll tell him to communicate more positive messages to you about.
He's a Labrador, right?
Yes. Yeah, this has definitely been, I think, a constant learning experience. But I think the books, attending conferences, and finding people to call has been the biggest help, because I definitely have gone through phases. We were talking about it earlier today, of first time I had a client cancel on me and just cussing me out, telling me how bad of an agent I am and all this. And so I call him crying, and then he laughs at me. So then I start laughing, and it gets me back on the line. And I've found that the faster I call, the faster I talk to somebody, the faster I get some perspective on it, the faster I can get back onto that line.
Have you ever
and just
heard my
kind of stay
stump
level.
toe? Have you
What
heard
was
my
that?
have you ever heard my stump toe talk? that ties into this? Like when you stump your toe, you know how bad it hurts when you hit your toe, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard me talk about this emotional thing?
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen Major Pain?
No.
You need to watch Major Pain. Maybe that's not the name of it. What's the name of that movie, other girls? Do y'all know?
Major Pain is, I know about Major Pain.
Is that a movie?
Yes.
That's the name. Is that the name of it?
Yes, when he's in the army and then he goes to like the boarding military school and teaches.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember when that guy hurts his knee real bad?
Yes.
And what does he do to make him think about something different?
He breaks his finger or something.
Yeah, he breaks his finger. He's like, you quit thinking about your knee, didn't you?
The quick fix.
I mean, I love that because he's like, oh, it's killing me. He's like, I will make you think about something different. And he just snaps his little finger and he starts screaming about his little finger. And he's like, forgot about his twisted ankle. He just totally forgot about it because of his finger's broken half now. There you go. Yeah, they got to see that movie. Welcome to the House of Pain. It's a lot of funny things about that movie. Like one time, the little kid's scared about a ghost in his closet. So he takes out his 9mm and goes into the closet and just start bam, 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 bam. He comes back out. He says, I killed him. Okay. So when you stump your toe, don't break your little finger. But I highly recommend, Emily, if you will practice thinking about something else hard as hell, the amount of time, I won't make him go back to the screen, but the amount of time that you drop down into depression or hurt, like if you sit down and look at it and study it and cry about it and scream and tell somebody else, minutes of your life are going by and the pain will last longer because you're thinking about that. It's really a freaky thing to become like this because people, so many people don't operate like this. They say things like, you understand, don't you? And I always go, no, yeah, whatever. What difference does it make whether I understand? I think you're a moron that can't control your emotions, and you'll probably go nowhere in life, and you're going to be stuck where you are, which is not a terrible place, because in America, you can practically live in a trailer park and have running water and a big screen TV. You know, I don't know what else you need in life, right? Indoor plumbing. You know, you get on welfare or something, you'll be fine. It's not like you're going to be hungry. It's not like in Africa. It's not like in Zimbabwe. Now, I'm going to tell you what, they ain't got no Social Security over there, but I'm going to tell you what, no Medicare, no nothing. You talking about hungry. You know, that's a different program. You know, so all right, Shayla,
Yes.
tell these people what I'm trying to say.
Just instead of falling into that hole, find some dirt to level out the hole. Walk over the hole.
You know that story about the donkey that fell in the well?
No.
So this donkey, he's screwing around. You know what a well is, right? Where the bucket goes down and you dip the water up. This donkey, this well had dried out. It was on the farm and it just had boards over top of it. This donkey was screwing around. You know how donkeys would do. He's standing on these boards and they fell through and he went down in this well. And the farmers lost their donkey. So they walk around trying to find their donkey. They hear him down. They go in there and they finally spot him. And so what they do is they drop a rope down in there and tie around him. Well, as soon as they do, the donkey does his arms out and he's stuck. They trying to winch him out. They can't get him out. 3 of them go down in there, get the donkey out. They can't push him out. They come back out. They try everything. They try and think of everything to get that donkey out. And finally, one of them just said, you know, that old donkey's about dead anyway. We just need to cover him up with dirt and forget about him. So they said, all right. So they got the shovels out and they started throwing dirt on that donkey, going to fill him out. The problem is every time they get dirt on the donkey, he just shake it off. He shake that dirt off. And they put some more dirt on him. He shake him off. Next thing you know, he's shaking dirt off about 2 inches from the top. They put some more dirt on him. Next thing, that donkey, he just walked right out of the well. He's just shaking off the dirt. I hate y'all can't see me. I wash my hair, brush my teeth, and everything. That's the story of donkey shaking it off. That's why they say, just shake it off. You said put some dirt in it and cover the hole up and walk right over it. Made me think about that donkey. Tell them more, Shayla.
The way I see it, I guess, is, like those horses, those really fancy horses that you see. And so that they don't get distracted by the side busyness of the streets, the side tension, everything. They have these blinders on that cover from the outside, because then all they need to focus on is the road ahead, and all they need to focus on is forward instead of looking to your sides and getting distracted or getting scared by things that frighten horses, or so sometimes it's hard. It's definitely hard to do that, but sometimes you just need to put your blinders on and zero in on the path ahead.
Okay. All right, let me give you something else. You know how I told you your parents gonna die and you're gonna get hurt and you're gonna get cancer and all that stuff's gonna happen, right? It's depressing. It is what it is. Okay, let me give you an example, another example. You trying to get a person, you trying to get them, so I should change it from them with a straight line to a star. So you're trying to coach them from one point to the other point. You should tell them, let me tell you what's going to happen when you go to these houses. Sometimes it ain't going to be, sometimes there's not going to be anybody at the house but you and Jesus. And they say, what do you mean? So, well, you go to a house, you knock on the door, and nobody's there. What you need to know is Jesus is with you. They go, are you saying that people are going to tell me they're going to be home and they're not going to be there? And you go, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But if you just tell people, sometimes you're going to get no-shows. It don't stick out in their mind the same thing as if you say you and Jesus are going to be on the front porch steps. You see, you've heard this, be remembered or be forgotten. So like, for example, I've got a girl that I'm coaching. She's young. She is, when you're graduating college, what, 19? How old when you, 21?
21.
She's like 21, 22. And she says, whoops, I didn't see, I sent her to get on this call. And she said, whoops, I didn't see this message until right now. And I'm thinking, she didn't remember that we have a Friday call every Friday. Like, how do you, okay. All right. So you got a new person, Shayla, and you say to them, you're going to get no-showed or Jesus showed. You're going to have a call every Friday at 10 a.m. Friday at 10 a.m., we all get on this thing. And if you don't get on it, you're fired. And they go, really? I'm fired? No, you're not fired, but I'm trying to get to help you understand you're supposed to be on these calls. Well, they are recorded and I can listen to them later. Yes, you can. But do I prefer that you do it the same time as with me? What if you're on the show? Well, that's different. Now I'm a star. I'll be there on time. Oh my God. They're not an old school. They're a child is what they are. And what we got to do is get them more of an old school. Like, how mad can I get that I don't have this video, right? I can't get mad enough that I don't do the show. I'm still piddling with it. I'm sending all my staff all these messages I'm getting, right? But I can't do but so much, because then what happens is, let's go back to the green slide, Handy, a little bit. The one with the green line.
All right, 1 second.
All right. What's happened is I'm trying to move from left to right. I'm trying to get to the star. So here's the question. Here's a question for you, Mackenzie. I don't know why I call you Mackenzie, but I see Kenzie Richardson. Kenzie, Do you care? Do you like Mackenzie? You like
I mean,
Kenzie?
my government name is Mackenzie, so if you call me that, it's okay.
That's what I that's what I thought, but I just kept looking at it. So it is Mackenzie. I'm right about that. I want you to put that slide up whenever you can, bro. All right. All right. So from you, I should have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What if it was just 100 things you needed to do to get to the star? My question is, Mackenzie, do you want to get to the star when you're 42 or 31 or 28? You see what I'm saying? Like, how soon do you want to get there?
27, 26, 2 years.
Okay, well, here's the problem. Everything in your life is going to be trying to. You remember, were you at the View when Marcusetta used the goalie and Spencer was the goalie from
Yes,
Russia trying to keep you out of the goal?
Mhm.
Well, this is personal, so please don't take it personal, but it's personal. Like, you're going to see your niece graduate, and I think that's great. As you would say, I'm sure you understand. You're happy for them. Absolutely, 100%. How many brothers and sisters does your mama and daddy have? Because my mama had 12 brothers and sisters. And the good news is, I guess they're all morons. Like, none of them are graduating college, but I could go graduate. I could go celebrate their high school with them. Now my daddy's daddy had women, listen, I don't know if you know this, Emily. My daddy's daddy, he had babies with 3 different women. So my daddy's got brothers and sisters, right? He don't have 12. My mama, she got 12 brothers and sisters. My daddy got 3 brothers and sisters. So you imagine the nieces and the circumstances. I would never get to work. I'd be like Jewish holidays, Mormon holidays, Christian holidays, and Catholic holidays. What if you was a Catholic, Christian, Jew, Mormon, and Jehovah, and all of them? You say you can't pick all of it. What if I was? I would never get to work because of vacations. So if you say, I'm sure you understand, Andy, it's bar mitzvah period, or I'm sure you understand it's Easter. I'm sure you understand it's pilgrimage week. I understand every excuse that's keeping you from getting to that star. So I'm not against you and your nephews and nieces. I'm not against Emily. See, Emily's got choices. Her parents, she had choices what she wants to pick. I'm saying, like, you understand what I'm saying, Mackenzie, without being mad at me?
Oh, yes, sir, for sure.
It's like choices, right?
Mhm.
Like, my wife's having a baby. She's like, you come with me have a baby, right? I was like, yeah. When you gonna have it? She's like, well, I don't know. I said, was there any way somebody could let me know closer to the time? I can't. I mean, I heard these things can take 24 hours. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. They said, well, that's wrong. What's wrong? That they don't know exactly when it's coming? No, the fact that you don't want to be there the whole time. I do want to be there the whole time. I just got a million things I'm trying to do. Like, one time I was like, listen, there's a meeting. It ain't but 30 minutes from here. I'm going to go over to that meeting while you doing your thing. And I said, but somebody, and I'll be back. I got back at like midnight, nothing, no action. She's still in labor. I'm like, oh. So then I'm thinking, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep. She's like, how you going to sleep at a time like this? I'm not having a baby. I'm just sitting here in a chair with my head leaned back. You see how I'm trying to get now. I don't want to get a divorce. So I'm kind of cutting it close on that part. So there's what do you want and what do you don't want, right? So I didn't want to make her mad enough I got a divorce, but I also didn't want to take minutes because I wanted to get there. I was 37 when I got well, actually, let's take it back. I was 27 when I got in Amway, and that's when my dreams and goals got big. And I wanted to be, by the time I was 32 or 33, I wanted to hit some financial goals and freedom goals and size of my house goals. I didn't like the size of my house. So Mackenzie, well, let's go. Let me pick on Shayla. So Shayla,
Yes.
so you lost your daddy's mama, your grandma, right? Recently.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Tough, right?
Yeah, definitely.
She's the one that holds the family together. She's
Mhm.
this, she's that. You understand y'all grieve. And you understand,
Yeah.
but you understand that y'all made it through 10 times quicker than most families. You also kept working. You kept doing, you remember, do you see the difference between your family surviving that and then other families, how they don't survive it?
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely had a big part of doing that because she was the strongest woman I know. So I know that she taught each and every one of us to have, strength through it, to stay together as a family because, you know, it's hard not to fall apart when something like that happens.
Let me tell you what helps you keep from falling apart. Telling you that it's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not speaking negative. I'm being aware that this world exists.
Hmm.
So
It's
if
inevitable.
it's inevitable. So or it's statistical.
Hmm.
Like the statistics are 100% in this case. We ain't going to get out of this world alive. Right?
That's why we have this living, is this career.
I don't understand. Tell me what you mean.
Oh, that because death is so certain that's why we have a career because we sell life insurance.
Do we do sell life insurance? Good point. It's funny because if I selling cars like Mackenzie was doing, you can tell a person they need a car and they got to have a car and their car is a piece of junk and it's a safety hazard and all that stuff. But all that stuff is not as true as, well, I can buy the car tomorrow. Now it might be
Mhm.
gone. It ain't going to be gone tomorrow, but you can tell them that. Well, I got two other customers that are thinking about it. Here's what I always say when somebody tells me that, Mackenzie. I go, well, don't hold it on account of me. Don't hold it on account of me. I get another one. I'm not in love with this little red car you got. It's a big world out there. I can Google it and find another one. Have it shipped here for $600. You know, but you tell a person I ain't gonna die or I ain't gonna get cancer tomorrow, I ain't gonna get sick. Like, bro, like I'm telling you, you get sick tomorrow, we ain't gonna give you no insurance. So the urgency factor of what we do, Shayla, allowed me to morally press, to morally I call it the high moral, the moral high horse,
Mhm.
right? Like you start doing that with the cars, you're kind of shamming people, but you do it with life insurance, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Or pencils. So you
Mhm.
can only push pencils and pens so hard. Light bulbs, right? But in the life insurance, okay, let's go back to the drawing. Okay. So Kenzie, here's the deal. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, you to the star, you got to hit that stick on that line hard. So when I say 24/7, here's what I mean. I don't mean work all the time. I mean, I am in for a big time party or a big time paycheck. I'm not in for a little party and I'm not in for a little paycheck. So what I'm saying is I try not to get off that line for things that other people seem like it's a massive emotional event. I don't want little things to take me off the line. I don't want big things to take me off the line. Now, some people could also call me boring, except for the big parties. Like you say, hey, you want to go to Thailand? Yeah, I'm in. Phuket, I'm in. You want to ride an elephant? Hell yeah. You know, I was scared that elephant was going to know that I killed his cousin. I was a little nervous, but I was thinking he probably don't know. So I tried not to transmit that to him when I wrote him. But so if you go to Italy, hang out with Brian Adams, yeah, I'm in. I went to Bari, Bari, Italy, outside of Rome. It's I'm in. But Andy, you want to go to this? Nah. Hey, Andy, you want to go to this? Like a little girl, a young lady just asked me to speak at their graduation. And she's got the chancellor, everybody involved. And I'm like, I told Missy, I said, she's going to call you and give you the dates and you tell her you don't know. Because I don't know if I want to go. Because all I got to do is say I got something booked. All I got to do is say, listen to this. Here's an answer to anything anybody says something. I'm sorry, I have a previous engagement. And I know you like integrity. You understand. But in other words, turn it on them. Turn it on them. My mama said, Uncle Bernard died. You got to come to his funeral. I said, I ain't coming to Uncle Bernard's funeral. I got something scheduled that day. She said, I didn't even tell you what day it was. I said, I don't care what day it is. I got something scheduled. I'm telling you. I have a previous engagement. How do you say that, Andy, with integrity? Hey, Emily, answer this question. If you say to somebody, you got nothing on your schedule Saturday, and they ask you, can you say I have a previous engagement? Can you say that ethically and morally?
No, not if you've told them your schedule's empty.
That's kind of true.
But I always have something.
Huh?
I always have something I can do.
I know, right? So let me tell you what your previous engagement was. To press forward on your goals and dreams. That's your previous engagement. It don't have to be a opportunity meeting. It don't have to be a boot camp. It don't have to be a seminar. You could just have Saturday reserved to press forward on your dreams and goals. So if you say, I'm sorry, I can't go to that concert and sit in a nosebleed section with a bunch of drunks and smell pee-pee and vomit and stuff like that, I'm sorry, I got a previous engagement. And yeah, they go, what do you got to do? None of your business. It's very important. It's personal. But now if they say, hey, listen, I'd like to fly you up to New Jersey. We got this concert going on with Miranda Lambert. We're going to get you first class. Hotels paid for. And you can bring a friend. Bring Harry if you want to. That's harder to say no to. I'm sorry, I got a previous engagement. But that's exactly what I'm dealing with right now, Emily. I've got that invite, Atlantic City. Miranda Lambert, first class. And I'm like, right now I've got a previous engagement. I told Jennifer, hold off. You see what I'm saying? Like, but most people, that would be a dream come true to have an all expense paid trip. You know what I'm saying, Emily? Just any excuse to get, I call it any excuse to get out of work, any excuse to get out of the boredom. Listen to me, girls, the boredom of building your business. Andy, my business building is not bored. You've got to be kidding me. I'm going to meet with a guy today at 3:00. I hope he's watching, and I'm going to be bored out of my mind. I'm going to be saying the same thing I've said for 33 years. But I'm going to try to look as enthusiastic as I can possibly be. I got a conference call right here. How many times have I done this thing? This guy's like, I've been doing it for, he remembers 20 years. I remember 30 years of doing this with enthusiasm, with excitement. It's boring to me. No way, Andy. You don't seem bored. Shayla, wrap this thing up.
This is actually a really good topic. I was actually talking to my parents yesterday, coming out of physical therapy. It was my first physical therapy since this surgery. And I was telling them that I need to start a new language for myself. As in, because everyone, is asking me about my knee, asking me this and that. Instead of constantly saying, oh, my knee's in pain, or my knee hurts, or just negative stuff about it, even if my knee is in pain, and even if, the stitches do hurt and it hurts to bend my leg, nothing good comes out of me saying it. Like, you always hear that there's power of life and death in your tongue. So nothing good comes from me constantly saying that I'm in pain, because then I'm constantly telling my brain that I'm in pain. So then even if physically I'm not in pain, I'm just always going to have that mentally in my mind. So it can transition to anything with changing your language from something negative or something that will bring you down or something that will discourage you, to even if it's not your reality, if you start speaking it, then it'll become your reality.
Can I give you a language word?
Yeah.
Here's the way it goes. Give it a shot. Just give it a. Hey, how's your is your knee still killing you? You're rehabbing? Give me a huh.
Yeah.
No. This works like this. Kind of like Give me. It's got to be more of a Give it another shot.
Eh.
People want to talk about it. They want to talk about it. And when I'm busy as hell, it's I was talking to a rich person. Well, she's not rich, but she makes a lot of money. It's the girl that runs our lead company. And I was talking about this very subject, and she said, my family, it wasn't this very subject, but it got on it. I was telling, she asked me about a problem. I said, let me see if I'll explain something to you. Make money. I was like, make hay. And she said, yeah, my entire family knows. Don't call me from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Don't ask me to do nothing. Don't call me. Call me after that. That's the only time I take them, unless it's about me making more money. Like it's got to be about my, anyway. People want to talk. They don't want to do. They don't want to do. On the back of my mailbox says do. Do da do.
Just gotta do it.
Give it a shot. That's very good. New language.
Yeah.
Minute. Everything takes a second. 1 second. Honey, would you take the garage out? Honey, would you put this hair chair together? Honey, would you clean the kitchen? Honey, would you clean it? Honey. Minutes going by. Okay? Give it a shot. Mackenzie, wrap it up for us.
Would you like me to talk about the event coming up? Is that okay? Or
all right.
Well, I'm sure most of you guys know, but August 2nd through 4th, we have family reunion. That's going to be in Burlington, North Carolina at home office. I'm super excited. I recently went to home office before View from the Edge, and just being there, it makes you appreciate the Alliance 10 times more, just seeing the culture and seeing like, this is where it happened. So I'm excited to see everyone there. I know I'm going to go a couple of days early and beat up on Brandon Manley and some golf and hopefully some other people too, but I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to see new faces and showing up to the events. That's the key. That's the way that you can stay in this business, whether you're part-time, full-time. I played D1 golf and I couldn't go to a tournament unless I showed up to practice and showed up to the trainings and things like that. So it's the same way with this company. Show up, show out, and you'll get all the knowledge you need. So I can't wait to see everybody.
Okay. The 1st is a Thursday. Starting at noon until 6 o'clock, we're going to have intense seminar training, advanced training, annuity training. A Nexus is going to be there. F&G is going to be there telling about their IULs. A Nexus, we are bringing out an IUL with a Nexus also. I'm excited about that. How to do the seminar, how does a trust work, how does probate work, how to get people to understand everything from noon to 6. Excuse me. After 6, the top 10 Nexus producers, we're going out to dinner at Prego's, and you can go out to eat with your manager or whoever is not over there with us at Prego's. Okay, so that's the 1st. So the convention really only starts the 2nd, but if you're coming to Burlington, you might as well come in early on Thursday and learn the advanced training. It's very advanced. It's not what the convention is going to be family reunion. This is advanced training. Early Friday morning, 9 a.m., we're going to start back up with more advanced training. How to close people on signing up for their own trust. How to fund it. How to find the money. Required minimum distribution, RMDs. How does that work? What is a stretch RMD? All the advanced financial planning strategies are going to be discussed until noon. At noon, you're pretty much a free-for-all. You can hang out at the office. You can meet people because the speakers are going to be the walkthrough. We got the agency manager meeting coming up, and then the convention is going to kick off Friday afternoon or Friday night. So I'm just telling you, come on in early Thursday. It's free. Come on in. Everybody's invited. It's part of the convention. I think we're going to do some pizzas and stuff like that. Okay. So good job talking about that. I'm excited that you're going to see there. And the 5th, I'm going to see you the 5th in Houston. So start working on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. before Emily, are y'all going to try to stick more to the line after this? Do you, now that you know there is a line, you know, it kind of, it don't matter to me. It's your life. But you do understand the more you stick to the line, the more I get to celebrate your successes. Whether it's happiness or sadness, either one takes you off the line. And I have been criticized by some consultants. They go, you need to celebrate more. I was like, Bo, I can't celebrate no more than I celebrate. But they're like, you need to take more time for celebration. I go, all right, whatever. You know, I'm like, I'm too busy trying to move into the Hall of Fame than to celebrate this little celebration thing you got. I just had a lawsuit against me dropped, millions and millions of dollars. We party, you know, a couple hours. You got to move on. We got other stuff to do. There's another one coming. There's a big check coming. I got a bill from 2017 for $357,000 to pay tax. I called my CFO. I said, I paid all my taxes. This should be time zone elapsed. I give it to him. I ain't thought about it much since. About 3 times. You can't think. And he did tell me, he said, I think they got it figured out. I was like, what about all them fines and fees on top of this? We'll be over 450,000 after they put interest and fees. He's working it out. So how much time can I waste on that? I got a big check. I remember one time I was sitting at lunch and I got a text. Tax error in your favor, 350,000. I was like, all right. It's going to happen. You're going to be all over that line. But to get to where you're going, you got to get back on the line. Wrap us up, Emily.
I remember a talk you did on TWC a couple years ago, and every time you do this conversation, it just brings me back to it, where you talked about how many days till you die. And my great grandma lived to be over 100, so I'm shooting for at least that. I've got those genetics, but that means I've got only 28,000 days left. And what decisions am I making in those times? Am I going to family reunion? Am I going to step on this seminar system? Am I going to embrace all the opportunities you've got? When you brought on a Nexus, I was emailing them on the TWC. We set up a phone call the next day, got a $250,000 annuity we're going to be writing with one of those products. And it's just, how fast am I going to choose to take advantage of those opportunities? Because I can either get off the line for 10 more days and lose that time, or I can get back on the line and get closer to those goals.
Oh, that's a great talk too. How many days are left? Woo. Well, I cannot wait to see all y'all next. You are invited to come to Houston on the 5th and bring more people. If you have people on the 5th, that's a good excuse to be there. If you don't have people in Houston, it's a good excuse to start recruiting more people in Houston. We're gonna look at this seminar. Everything that we're talking about in this seminar, Kenzie, applies to your dad and mom. Need to make sure that they've got all their estate planning in place. God, there's so much to do, guys. Thank you so much. I want to tell you this too. I am so proud of all 3 of y'all. I was so excited to just see you and listen to you. And I kind of like that my favorite thing about not being able to log into the video is they get to see y'all 3 and not me. Y'all are the 3 stars. Y'all are superstars. You're rising up. I'm getting so many texts that y'all have inspired so many young ladies and young guys. Hey, and a challenge to the young men out there. Come on now, get with it. Get that backbone going. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day. You killed it. And just keep doing. It's a contradiction to say keep doing what you're doing. So what I want to say is just keep reading books every day, 15, 20 minutes. Try to get your mind better, because it is truly a battlefield of the mind. So it's inside the inner circle of you, but outside of that circle, there's parties and there's death, there's dismemberment, there's the government. Oh Lord, don't get me started. All that stuff outside the circle of you, but inside the circle of you, it's a battle of whether you listen and whether you react and whether you get sucked into this or sucked into that. Try to keep your head right. It's a mind game. So just keep trying to get a little bit better. Keep being you, because all y'all got perfect personalities, okay? Who you are, what you like to eat, and your likes and dislikes, all that's perfect. Okay. All that super, nobody trying to change that. Okay. All we're trying to change is them synapses and these mind things going on inside that head. And regardless of mama, daddy, cousins, brothers, sisters, upline, downlines, keep working on that head moving forward. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much for participating. I know everybody got a great bye-bye. See you.
Thank you, Andy.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.